I'm a fucking stunner. Woo! Ass big, hummer. Birds, hatchet, crumble. Big, stunner.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mutation, and today I have kind of a different video for you guys. I haven't really done a story time yet, and I'm not that famous on YouTube, but I thought I might share a sketchy story. And if you haven't already noticed by the title, yes, this is a true story, and yes, this did really happen. So believe this was, I don't think it was a 6th grade, I think it was a 7th grade, and I was experimenting. This is back in the 6th grade is when I experimented with weed for the first time, and I was a big fan of it. I'm not gonna lie. I like the cool boy factor where it was like, oh my god, everybody's talking about it, so I might as well do it. I kind of got peer pressured into it when I first did it, and it was back with my friend that was heavy into it. He loved it. So there was a new, I don't think it was new at the time, I think it was already out, but there's a drug called Spice, and if you didn't notice by the title, that's what it's called, obviously. Spice, it's basically a synthetic weed and also a hallucinogenic at the same time, so it was like a two-in-one thing. I had never tripped balls in my life. I was only smoking weed at the time, so I had no idea what to expect. I was kind of sketched out about it, but my friend was saying that it was pretty legit, and that he really wanted me to try it, and I trusted this dude, I really did, and it was with a bunch of other people. Now, one in particular was this girl that at the time was claiming that she's done cocaine and all these other crazy drugs that I'm never thought in my life that I'd ever try, nor have I ever tried. So I was like, okay, I guess she's crazy, whatever, we'll let her tag along. So this was actually on a Thursday, which is even more stupid. Why would we do it on a school day and then have to go to school tomorrow and possibly face I don't even know. But anyways, so it was me, it was my friend, who was a dude, and then I think it was 3 girls. I'm not gonna give any names, obviously, because that's just not right to do. So we took off to my friend's, next to my friend's house, which he had a gated community. So we took off to these not golf courts, but tennis courts, and we sat down. And if you guys didn't know that Spice is actually legal, I wouldn't recommend to buy it. Never buy it, honestly. It's really bad. There's a lot of stories of people getting seizures and all these crazy ass stories I've seen. And after I got caught on this stuff, because I got caught, but that'll be later on in the video, you'll find out. But I realized how bad this could have honestly been. It was bad, but it could have been even worse. So basically, we got to the tennis courts. The stuff was called, I think, Funky Monkey or something like that. It had a weird picture of a monkey on it. It was pretty funny. My friend tells us, he's because he had already done it a couple times, he knew what was up. He explained everything. He said, don't take more than a hit. It's nothing like weed. This stuff will make you OD pretty fast if you do the wrong thing with it. Just be very cautious of what you're doing. So me being, I guess, the smart guy in the case, I took about half of a bowl's worth of what I would usually smoke in weed, right? So packed it in. We were smoking out of a pipe. I took a hit. Everybody else was passing it along. It was 2 girls, or 3 girls, like I said, and then the dude with us. We're all getting messed up, and my friend decides to crack a joke, and he's like, hey, look over there, there's cops. And I'm like, what? And I instantly start having a slight bad trip. And like I said, it's a hallucinogenic, so if you're having a bad trip, you're gonna start seeing sketchy things. But I was okay, though. I guess I calmed myself down. But we start running, right? And we're running out of the tennis courts, and I wasn't feeling anything at the time, so I was okay. And as we start running, the high just starts kicking in, full-fledged, just hits me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it hit me like a rock. It was ridiculous, and everything just went into slow motion. It was nutty. I mean, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know what I was to expect. And basically, for people that do hallucinogenics, you would know there's pretty trippy side effects, or stuff that goes on. For me, I started seeing waves in the sky. It was kind of like a pixelated video game, and then everything started going really warped, and everybody started going in slow motion while we were running. It was really weird. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, I hadn't done anything besides weed after this, and I was tripping out. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So we start running, and as we stop, everybody was kind of laughing about it, but everybody was kind of sketched out, and adrenaline was pumping. Everybody was kind of scared. And the girl that claimed that she did cocaine and all this other crazy shit, starts like starts slowing down a little bit. She sat down, and we're all just standing there like watching her, and she starts foaming from the mouth, guys. Like full fledged. There's bubbles coming out, and I'm like, "Hey, is she okay?" And I look at her, I stare at her, and I'm like, I point at her, I'm like, "Hey, is she okay?" Everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And we all start tripping out, like, "What the fuck's going on with her?" And she's just sitting on the fucking curb, like fucking foaming from the mouth. So we start freaking out. We're in seventh fucking grade, guys. So I think I was like maybe 13, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I was like, oh fuck, like I instantly start not having a panic attack, but like in a sense it was kind of like a panic attack. I'm like, guys, you need to get her the fuck out of here, like call the fucking ambulance or something. And she's screaming out, she's just repeating herself, she's like, call the ambulance, I'm not okay, call the ambulance. And she just started saying that shit like over and over and over again, like that's all she said. Couldn't say anything else. I think she was in shock. So what I feel really bad about this still to this day. I wasn't trying to get caught. Like I said, it was a fucking Thursday. So like, yeah, I mean, it's a school day. Like, what was I thinking? So I tell my friend, I'm like, hey, let's go back to your house. And the girls actually offered to take her, and they claimed that they were going to go to the hospital with her. But what actually happened is they took her to a community center, right? Took her, called the cops, and dropped her off, and just kept walking, and pretended like she was basically called it on herself, which is really messed up. Now that I think about it, I feel really bad for this. I honestly should have stayed, but I was really not trying to get in trouble. Like I knew my parents were gonna beat the shit out of me. I was scared. Like not even they didn't do anything, but like they did, but they didn't. I'm not trying to make them seem like bad parents, but I didn't get beat or anything, cause yeah. But so yeah, so they dropped her off, and she's basically foaming from the mouth, fucking having a seizure halfway, sitting there fucking screaming for help. I guess the police got there and the fucking ambulance picked her up, took her to the hospital. So me and my friend, the guy, go to his house, and nobody's home, thank God. And we're just sitting there, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, like, what's gonna fucking happen? Because, you know, I could still fucking, like, function or whatever. I could still talk. I was chilling. But I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen to us, man? Like, what's gonna go on? And he's like, oh, dude, it's gonna be fine. And right as I'm, like, thinking, I start having a bad trip. Like, full-on bad trip. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is not good. Like, oh my god, like I didn't know what a bad trip was at the time. Like on weed, you're not really, you don't have like trips or anything. You just kind of chill out. You're mellow. I start having a serious bad trip, and I kid you not, guys. I'm staring at his TV, and I can see my reflection, right? I look behind me, and there's just like this orby like body shaped shadow behind me, like. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, and I tell my friend, I'm like, can you see that? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? And as I look at it, like, the eyes open and they're like white eyes. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, it was kind of like, it looked like it was like built of like slime. Like, it was like really fucking weird, morph looking fucking body. And I'm like, bro, you don't fucking see that, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, what are you talking about? And I was like, bro, it's talking to me. And I kid you not, it's like talking to me, but it was talking in like some weird like muffled language, and I couldn't understand what the fuck it was saying. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what is that? And I start really freaking out. I'm like, bro, am I having a bad trip? Like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, hey, chill out. So he starts telling me like, breathe in and out, like, calm the fuck down. He's like, relax, you're okay. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, I was really scared though. I was like, holy fuck, dude. So I calm down, whatever. It fucking disappears. And the next day, I go to fucking school, right? And I'm like, okay, she probably snitched us out, but like, I'm gonna keep it cool. I'm gonna pretend like nothing happened, and hopefully we don't get in trouble and she just blames it on herself. So what ended up happening is, first through third went by. That means nutrition went by as well, or snack time or whatever. I'm okay. No, nothing happened. Nothing's going through. Fourth period hits, and I'm like, okay, the day is almost over. I think I'm okay. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I was like, I hope I don't get in trouble, because I'm screwed, right? So I get a call over the intercom, and it's like, someone from, I think it was, yeah, from fourth period. It was like, someone needs to be called to the office or whatever. It was through the phone, not the intercom, but the teacher's phone. And I'm like, oh shit, who is it gonna be? And they call me, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I already knew. I was like, I'm fucked, like they found out. I was like, I'm fucking screwed, right? So I start walking and I walk through the quad, and right as I walk through the quad, I see two cops just fucking waiting for me, just sitting there waiting. And they have like, they're pretty serious, they're pretty fucking pissed off. And basically what happened is they didn't handcuff me, but they grabbed me and like restrained me, walked all the way to the office, basically pointed at her, and they explained that basically that she almost died and that it was actually pretty difficult to get her to calm down in the hospital or whatever, so she possibly could have died is what they said. They said that they were gonna possibly charge me for some bullshittery. I don't know what the fuck they were gonna charge me with, but basically that she claimed that we forced her to smoke. I don't know how that's fucking possible, but basically we forced her to smoke. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, honestly, what the hell? So after that happened, I basically got, I think, a week and a half suspension, which I don't even get why they suspend people like that. Just makes them more happy. They're like, fuck yeah, I don't have to go to school. But basically they suspended me, and I'm like, oh shit. And that happened, and then on top of that, after that, everybody found out about it. Like, everybody found out that she was basically a no. Everybody claimed that she was like a snitch or whatever. So she basically lost all of her friends, snitching us out. None of my other friends really got in trouble. She blamed it on me for whatever reason when I didn't even buy it, or like, I guess I'm the one who invited her technically, even though I didn't buy it. So I got blamed for it the most. And basically, yeah, guys, I fucking almost killed somebody, quote unquote, because that's what they said. So that was a scary ass fucking story. After that, I saw her in high school, and she came to my high school for a year. Everybody found out about her, and she had like no friends there either, so it's kind of a sad story, honestly. She lost all of her friends. I don't know how she is now. I'm obviously not going to give out her name, but that was a crazy story, guys. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you guys want to hear more. I do have other stories. I haven't really experimented with other drugs, but I have other crazy stories. If you guys want to hear about that stuff, I'd be happy to tell them. But anyways, this is Mutation signing out.